Hello, Virgos, wonderful Virgos, welcome. I'm Emma, and whilst I am fairly new to YouTube, I am not new to doing this. I've been doing it a very long time. I will put a link in the description box to my website so that if you want to find out more about who I am, you're very welcome to. If not, I am here. I'm here for our April 2021 readings and I'm ready for it. I'm really thrilled to be talking with you today. So what I did was I tuned into Virgo energy prior to making this reading, and I am going to pull 3 cards to also follow through and add some layers to the conversation around April. And towards the end, I'm going to also pull 1 card that focuses on relationship as well, because I know that's something many of us want to converse about. So I'm excited, Virgo. I'm really feeling you, Virgo. And that came through quite strongly when I was linked into your energy, was how it's a time for feeling. Now, I don't feel like it will come to a surprise to many of you that your feelings have been bubbling up quite extensively in recent months, and it might be easy to associate that with events that have been taking place or things that have been happening in your world, these sort of provocative changes. However, I think at the core of it is a heart that wants to be heard. And what I actually felt when I linked into you was that your feelings are leading the way. Now, you guys are incredible thinkers. You can think and 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 think, and you can get to the bottom and inside and out every layer when you think about something. However, it feels like what's happening is it's a lot of emotion leading the thought process. There's a lot of emotion contributing to the thought process. And there's a lot of emotion taking action in your world right now. And it's just really big. It's a really big feeling time for you. And I believe that April is going to be very similar. However, I feel like April carves new ways for you that are honoring the emotion. Now, of course, there are elements of dissatisfaction that have been felt in recent months, and I know that you're not ignoring those. You're not shy to them. You're very good at being able to communicate where things are feeling a sense of dissatisfaction and injustice in your world. But it feels like what happens through April is now the pathways to balancing that off, the pathways to honoring the truth of that dissatisfaction and allowing for a fuller sense of living where this stuff is no longer impacting on, at least not in the volume, and is not reducing your quality of life and well-being and connection. It feels like now is very much the time to let the feelings lead. I think because you guys are so pragmatic and practical, you're actually very good at boxing things, compartmentalizing so that you can focus on the task at hand. And I think you're so good at this. I find you so inspiring because I know that I've struggled with that in the past. And I think Virgos are fantastic at being able to focus on the task at hand and get things done and do the job, go to the meeting, go hang out with the friends, do everything that is required of them. Virgos are very good at doing what's required of them. And yet, this emotional backsack is coming along. Now, it may not get a lot of speaking time because you're very good at focusing on the task at hand. However, it's still coming along, right? And I think our aim is to now shed the weight. So although you are engaging with life, you are out there doing new things and meeting people and engaging in life, all this weight has been impacting on your ability to enjoy it fully. And I do believe that there is this honoring of heart in April where some things get shed. Now, it may be that these things are shed naturally, so that you don't have to get stuck into any unwanted conflict or speaking up in situations that make you feel uncomfortable. It may be that there is natural space created in your life to help you regain energy, refocus, and really revel in that which is good. It might be that you are having to speak up a bit. I mean, when I was tuned into it, I do feel like communicating the feelings, and not only communicating them, but then walking the walk is now becoming important, because you are fantastic at talking the talk. You know what's going on inside. You know what's pissing you off. You know what's lighting you up. You know. And yet, sometimes walking the walk isn't quite lined up with that at the moment. Most of it is, right? Most of it is. I think due to exhaustion and busyness, maybe some of the other areas of dissatisfaction haven't actually been addressed in the reality. I think as well, it wouldn't surprise me if you just had a lot to do this last year. You had a lot to address. I've been addressing something every week, and it feels like what happens in April is, though, that things are finally addressed in a way that makes a very tangible difference to your living experience. And it's because these feelings are leading the way. I think logically, you can find reason with anything. You know, you're really good at that. So, okay, work isn't quite fulfilling me, but it gives me this, and this. You know, this relationship isn't quite fulfilling me, but it gives me this, and this. I'm not particularly happy in this hobby, but it gives me this, and this. My friends are being a bit annoying, but they give me this, and this. You're very good at finding the logic and the reason to stay in something and continue in something, and how it can be of a benefit to you. But I feel like it's not about the logic, it's about the feeling. On paper, we can make sense of anything. On paper, we can find reasons to stay in anything. And you're really good. I think that's a really wonderful quality in you. It's because you're really good at finding the positives. You can find the positives in a situation. You're really good at that. And at the same time, your feelings, something feels great and something feels off. Something feels great and something feels off. Something feels great. And I think what the balance is that we're trying to bring in here throughout April is just enough breathing space and lightheartedness and energetic renewal, so that you can actually begin to enjoy the good in your life, because there's a lot good happening, Virgo, and there's a lot of good to come. And I think April just allows space for your feelings to lead the way. Your feelings are calling the shots. And we're actually really happy about this, because all of that huge emotion that you've been feeling for the last few months is your heart talking to you. It is how you feel about life and the world and everything in it. This is you. And I think your heart leading the way is Virgo's coming out. Virgo's calling the shots. Virgo's carving the way. Virgo is making the change. And it does feel like it's the decisions you make in April that are going to enhance your life. And it is a decision-making time for you. You may feel a sense of anticipation if you're planning to do something, planning to make a change. I think just be gentle with yourself. You know that can be quite stirring sometimes. And at the same time, know that the moment the change has been implemented, the moment a conversation has been had, the decision has been made, it does feel like decisions being made, choices being made and followed through. I think the freedom that you are going to experience is going to be glorious, and it's going to be instant. So you will be reclaiming huge chunks of your life back with every decision made. And I think it's just regaining peace, calm, energy, restfulness, fun, togetherness, connectivity. I think you're in everything that you decide is not for you. You regain all this time and space for what is for you. And I think the healing process through being able to enjoy your living experiences is just going to be phenomenal. This is no longer healing through sleeping your way through, through all this exhaustion. It's no longer going to be healing through crying and stressed out outbursts and just healing through processing. It's like we're putting that to rest for a bit, because it's been sort of exhausted itself now, and our healing is now coming from this reclaiming of life, and it feels really powerful. I think with you utilizing the energy that is encouraging you and supporting you and validating you, and it's validating all this heart stuff that's coming up in you. It's like life, the spirit world, the universe is giving you permission to listen and just do it. Do whatever it takes now to reclaim your place in this world, reclaim your sense of aliveness, reclaim a life you want to live. And I think it's going to be easier than you think it might be, because there's so much spiritual support behind you and so much people support, friends, family, things like that. And I just think it's going to be a lot easier. But the best thing is, even if you do get a bit knotted up about what you're going to do next, I'm not even worried about you, because the moment you actually cross beyond through the threshold to the other side, the relief and the joy and the just that sheer joy, it's just joy of being there. It's just, you're not even going to remember how difficult it was to get there in the first place. Okay, so April's a big transformative month for you, one that I am very excited about. I think it's due. And I think we know how beautiful and funny and interesting and caring and passionate and driven and inspiring you can be. And it makes sense that we now want your life to reflect the gloriousness that is you. It's almost like bringing it up to standard, isn't it? Bringing it up to standards so that you can enjoy that which you're passionate about. And you are passionate, Virgo. There are things you care about. I don't say that as if, oh, it's a surprise. What I mean is, you just tend to care about things that are different to other people. And so what you do care about, though, you care about and you're loyal to and you'll go the distance with, and you are, you know, the feeling of connectivity to the areas you do care about is sometimes, you know, we can't even compare it to anything else. You know, what you are able to experience in the form of devotion is huge. You're incredibly devoted, but you're only devoted to the things that are meaningful to you, and that tends to differ from other people. And I think what we're doing is we're whittling away the things you've gathered along the way that you were told you were supposed to care about, and now you feel a bit bad and a bit guilty that you don't care about these things because other people do and other people want you to, but you kind of don't. And I think we're going to get rid of these things that you are kind of, unfortunately, you're trying to show that you do care just because you're supposed to, and we're going to just get rid of that because it's not true to you and you don't need to do that. And we're going to give you time and space to really get stuck in to everything that you do care about. And maybe that's a good task for April, Virgo, is to write yourself like a little list, you know, like get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. What do I care about and what don't I care about? And then when you get a wave of emotion, because I feel like the first half of April is incredibly emotive for you, you can say, is this something I care about or not? What elements of it do I care about? Put it on the I care about. What don't I care about? Put it down. It might be that the emotion is connected to the fact you don't want to care about this. It is taking up too much time and too much thinking and too much energy. Put it on the I don't want to care about this list. I don't care. And then really pay attention to the things that are lighting you up, the things that you feel like you're missing out on, the things that you want to devote more time and energy to, the things you want to invest in, because that's what we're making space for. And just put it down on that other column, and I think it's going to make things very, very clear. So you've got a big month of change, but let's pull a few cards just to really follow on from that conversation. I'm using my Ride the Weight deck. Let's have a look. So this is good, because what we've got here is we've got the Hierophant. We've got the Six of Wands. That's not the Six of Wands, is it? No, it is the Six of Wands. Wait, it's the Six of Wands. I was getting confused with my V and my X for a second there. And then we've got the Ten of Swords. Okay. Okay, so with our Hierophant here, this is that connection to something divine. And I think, you know, I'm reading intuitively and not card meaningly. Meaningly? Don't think that's a word. I'm not following traditional card meanings. I'm going with my intuition here. And when I look at that, I just feel like whatever you do next is blessed. So even if you're doing something that maybe you're not certain that you're allowed to do, maybe, you know, am I allowed to not care about this? Am I allowed to walk away from something? Am I allowed to make this choice for myself? It is divinely blessed. It's going to work out somewhere. Go for it. Because what I feel is, I feel like it's okay to say it's not against anybody else. this next choice, this big thing that you're moving with, the changes you're making, it's not against them. It's not against your family. It's not against your friends. It's not against your colleagues. It's not against your partner, but it's for you. It's not against them. It's for you, and you're allowed to do what's for you. It is divinely blessed. And look, that's your victory right there. That's your success. That's your valor. Do you know, like, that is you saying, sort of coming out on top here, saying, you know, this is the right thing for you. And when you honor yourself, somehow it all works out. Yeah. When you make that decision and it's the next best step for you, somehow it all works out. And I feel like you're actually going to be celebrated. Maybe people are going to around you are going to go, oh my God, we've been waiting for you to do this. Maybe you think people are going to be disappointed. And then you get this other group of people that are like, oh my God, we've been waiting to hear that for you. We are so happy you're doing this for yourself. We're so happy you're making this big new decision, or you're going into a big new job, a big new place. We're so happy for you. We're so happy that you're making these changes. This is great. And I feel like life will find ways to celebrate you. So that relief and that release and that freedom and the joy of that will be instant from any of these decisions that you make through April. However, I feel like the universe will be celebrating you pretty intensely. So you may make a big scary choice for yourself, like, oh my God, I'm going to apply for a new job, or oh my God, I'm going to end this friendship. Oh my God, I'm going to do something so different here. And I feel like the abundance is going to be your way of knowing that the universe loves this choice. Maybe like some gifts will show up, or, you know, a bit of money, or maybe you'll just have some sort of insta success in something where you will get so much validation and celebration, and the universe is just going to go, yes, yes, we're so happy you're doing this, and it's really good for you. And yes, we have the 10 of Swords. Yes, we do. But I feel like a lot of this feeling is just because you're being so brave. You're being so brave in April. And I'll tell you now, you don't need to be brave when you're not a little bit nervous or scared of something. That's called confidence. Yeah. If you are going into something without anxiety, without fear, without being stirred up, that's because you feel confident. But when you're making a decision for yourself that is stirring, it is provocative, it is a bit scary, that's when you're brave. And I feel like it makes sense that you feel like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are people going to judge me? Are people going to say things about me? How's this going to go? I feel like a lot of your 10 of Swords is going to be the emotion, the feeling talking to you. So, you know, you might be saying, this is rubbish. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it. And I tell you what, anytime you're obsessing over something, it's probably a sign that something needs a change. So these are the very things you will be changing. If you're obsessing about how much you dislike work, I imagine work is the thing that's going to change. If you're obsessing about what it's going to mean to go in a new direction, it probably means you're going in the new direction. It's almost like your discomfort is probably the sign of exactly where you're going, but it's not going towards more discomfort, right? It's going into something that reduces that discomfort and allows for a fuller sense of living. So don't devalue this. Don't feel like this isn't you. You know, I'm not being disciplined enough. I'm not meditating enough. I'm full of anxiety. I'm not perfect enough right now. I'm not living up to my best self. I feel awful. I don't think you're going to feel awful through April. Whoops. I'm hoping I just cut that off by accident. But I'm hoping that I can add this on the end somewhere, or add it in as a second part. What I want to say is I don't feel like you're going to feel awful through April, Virgo. I just think you're going to have moments of nervousness. And I think this isn't a sign of you failing. It's a sign of you growing. It's a sign of your becoming. It's a sign of your bravery and your decision making. And it's a sign that you're listening to your heart. So don't think that you're overthinking is a bad thing. You're obsessing, you're rolling everything over and over is a bad thing, because I think it's working for you. I think it's driving your future successes and helping you discern what is important to you. And I think you should listen to it. Absolutely listen to it. So on that note, I'm gonna now move into themes for relationship. Please do know that everything that I've already explored here will apply to relationship as well. So if you are feeling dissatisfied, start listening to that and moving towards things that are a fuller experience. But let's see what we have got. We've got Page of Swords. For me, looking at this Page of Swords, do you know what I'm feeling? It's April through relationship is providing you with the opportunity to do it differently, to try new ways of doing things. I feel like if something isn't working for you, again, let those feelings lead the way. Let it carve your path. Say, right, I don't like the way I've been doing things. And I look forward to a new way of doing things because I can't keep doing it round and round the way I have. And I do believe you will be presented with real life, tangible opportunities to do it differently. And I feel like the people you're connecting with are different. They're different. They're not like that which you've been with before. And so these are the people that you will be able to have a very different experience with, be a different version of yourself because they're different. And it feels like that's applicable even if you are in union or partnership right now. It feels like the person you're connecting with has changed. I feel like the last year changed them and added something to them and changed their emotional sort of scope. And I feel like because of that, that's providing new ways for you guys to come together, to make decisions, to move forward. It might have been that a year ago you couldn't have had these conversations with them because they weren't quite in a place of understanding. But now you can, and now you can have these conversations. You can discuss new things. You can think about going into new areas of your life together because this is all about doing it differently. Okay, so we have got a lot of support around your relationships and about doing it differently. It's a time to do it differently. It's a time to bring a different way of talking, a different way of decision making, a different way of connecting, a different way of togetherness. And I feel like everything in your relationships in April is very encouraging of that. It feels like you do not want to repeat that which you've done already. And this is a fantastic opportunity throughout April to actually do something else then. Like, I feel like this is tangible opportunity. I feel like this is being handed to you, it's being gifted to you, and that you have got very tangible opportunity here to do it differently. And I think you will feel that something different's happening. You might actually even go, well, this is weird. Something different is happening to me. And you might not even be sure how you feel about that. But what I would suggest is the moment you're starting to feel a bit like, oh, something new is happening. I don't know what I feel about this. I don't know. This is new. This is new. Do remind yourself that you wanted something different. And here it is. And just ease into it at a pace and a rhythm that feels good to you. Okay, Virgo. So that's our reading. It looks like April is all change with feelings leading the way this time. Forget logic. You could come up with 10,000 reasons to stay in one place or go from that place. Like, you can come up with logic, but this is about letting the feelings lead. Keep listening. You might feel quite emotive through this month, but that's okay because it's your heart talking to you. It's communicative, and it's not you failing. It's not you not coping. It's your heart really making sure it's being heard and really being in charge of the decision-making process. And I just feel like wherever you start in April, you're going to be in a very different place by the end of April, and that it is beautifully transformative. We are creating space for you to be a happier Virgo and reclaim all the juicy goodness of life. So I'll be back next month, but in the meantime, you're welcome to join me on Patreon. I've started a new community there. So I'm going to be doing daily readings. I'm going to do a weekly video, as well as hopefully a monthly live conversation too. So it's going to be very interactional and a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun over there. Please come join us. And I will also post a link to my website so that you can book in for one-to-ones if you feel drawn to. You're very welcome to come and do that. And I'll also put a link to my Facebook in case you want to head over there. But if not, I will see you next month. Wishing you a very wonderful and transformative, life-changing April, lovely Virgo. And I will talk to you soon.